Hey guys, it's Taylor back with Life with Taylor, and today we are going to be reading some Reddit stories, so let's get into it. Alrighty, what is up today? 2 hot takes. We're reading 2 hot takes. Let's get into it. You know, I don't really know how to react to 2 hot takes because sometimes they get resolved. But let's look at this first one and see if we can resolve this one. I got cheated on, but we are not official yet. Should I forgive him or move on? Okay. Well, with no other context, I'm gonna say move on, because if you're even slightly interested in each other and he goes and cheats on you, that's setting a stage for possibilities of future infidelity coming from his side. And that's not very trustworthy, so I think you should just leave him. But let's read the story and see if my opinion changes. Okay. Hello everyone. Sorry for the long text, but I desperately need advice. My 27 male situationship cheated on me, 29 female. Yes, we're not official yet, mostly because he was not ready. Okay. See, that even further adds to the, I don't know how to explain it, but he's the problem. I gave him hints all the time I wanted to assume things, but he always said to be calm. I'm confused. Should have realized the red flags here. We started talking 8 months ago. He initiated. I was off the country for some time, so the talking stage lasted around 3 months. We kissed the first time on month number 4, and honestly, I initiated the kiss. I liked him, sad face, but he returned it imminently and was super into it. I'm guessing intimate. Later in that month, for the first time, I should say, it took some encouragement for him to set up the dinner for that date. We live in the 21st century. Put this into, proofread it. Everything I write, proofreading, okay? Running it through Goblin Formalizer. Not sponsored, love it. Run it through there. Put it in Google Docs. You can see what you've messed up. Put it through Grammarly, okay? What are we doing here? After this happened, I thought we were building something together, but every time I wanted to arrange a date, he said he needed to check or see if he could on that day. Mind you, he almost never could. Some bullshit about his father needing him on that weekend repeatedly. We were only actually intimate and had dinner again at the end of month number 5. Also, I need to add that we work in the same company and we would see each other frequently after work. We would spend time together, just making out and talking for 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's very specific. On month number 6 and 7, shut up. We kept having some dates and being intimate, always complimented to find a time. But it was slowly getting better, which gave me hope. Fast forwarding to now, I discovered by scrolling on Insta that he had commented on another girl's, 24 female, recent bikini pics with heart and drool emojis, like 5 pictures over the past month or so. My heart broke immediately. You were only 7 months in, and it was like an off and on relationship. Situationship is a great word to describe this connection. So I understand why this person's heart is broken, but just reading from this, I'm like, yeah, she should have probably left before finding this out. But I guess this is just another reason for her to leave. I confronted him and he said it was a girl from his friend group and it was normal between them. But my sixth sense told me something was wrong. I kept looking and found her TikTok. Pictures of them clearly together before we started talking. Then I found pictures of her in his car during our month number 5. It was clear that I was with her after we were already intimate. What? It was clear then I was with him. It was clear that he was with her after. Moving on. I confronted him again and he came to talk to me in person and admitted everything now. That she is his friend and things between them were always fuzzy and confusing, like they were broken, then they are not. He is sorry he brought me into this situation. He was crying by this point. And he still likes me and wasn't with her since month 5, but still drooling over her pictures online makes me sick. He kept saying it was normal to comment on friends' pics like that in his group. I checked, seems they do, but it's still disgusting. He seems genuinely sorry that he did it, but that once we started, he didn't know how to tell me or deal with it and kept dragging on. I asked him if he would ever come clean had I not find out. He said yes. Not sure if I believe him. There's some other things we said, but he asked me what I wanted to do and asked me for some time to put things right in his head. I said I didn't know. I'm destroyed and don't know what to do next. I'm constantly afraid he will seek her for comfort now that he was sad. And I know I shouldn't be, but I'm still hoping he would fight for me, even though I'm not sure I could ever forgive me. Please help, what do I do? Okay, step 1. If you're gonna write, ask a peer reviewer, okay? Like, I don't know how you write on Reddit. I don't know if it's like, hey, red squiggly line, you got this wrong. Let's just do a little better, okay? Let's do a little better. I feel like every video I'm doing with reading Reddit, I'm like, come on, it's just one review, just one glance over, one brief read. Just look it over, see what you've done wrong. Trying to change people's writing here for the better. Yeah, I think you should move on, and the comments below really solidify my opinion. Somebody said, time to move on. If you find it disgusting and he admitted he would come clean, how can you trust him moving forward? Or he wouldn't come clean. It sucks that he did in fact not cheat on you because you are not in a relationship. In said situationship, you guys oh my god. In said situationship, you guys said he was free to do what he wanted. It's still shitty though. Like, he said he would have figured himself out or just have. Somebody said you're pushing 30 in a situationship. Move on. Yeah, I think you should move on. Yeah, don't waste your time. Okay, this one I just picked out because the other one I had was an update. Okay. Am I the asshole for not adding my baby's father to the birth certificate or giving the baby his surname? Interesting. I'm 2024 in. Okay. In 2024, I, 35 female, visited my home country after living abroad for several years. While I was back, I met a guy on Hinge, age 38 male. We hit it off straight away and ended up talking every day for months, even after I returned to the country where I was working. Oh, okay, I see where this is going. It's like a fling. She got pregnant, and then he's out of the picture. She didn't want to add his name onto the birth certificate. That's my guess, but let's continue. On a second visit home, I fell pregnant. Around that time, I had slept with H and one other person, so there were genuine doubts about paternity. H was honest that he didn't want a committed relationship. He said he enjoyed sleeping around and I was going back abroad, so things were complicated from the start. After the 12-week mark, we were still speaking daily and I told him about the pregnancy and the uncertainty. I came back again for the holidays, and we actually had a really nice time together. Bonding over my bump, it felt hopeful. But when I went back abroad, I found out he was still actively dating other people. That hurt a lot, especially because I lent him money, which he has never repaid, and he was effectively using that money to take other women on dates. To be fair to him, he never promised exclusivity, but I thought given the situation, he might change his mind. My mistake, I know. At the time, I blamed myself a bit, thinking the paternity doubts may have pushed him away. Eventually, I moved back home permanently, had the baby, and moved into the house of a relative. The baby is 100% H's, no doubt now. H was present at the hospital, but honestly, he wasn't very supportive. I had an emergency C-section, and he complained quite a bit about his own discomfort, so eventually went home to rest. What? It still baffles me that people are like this. The first night I was alone, terrified, sitting upright with a newborn who sounded like he was struggling to breathe. He was fine, but I didn't know that at the time. I was too scared to lie down and physically couldn't move properly. It was a rough start. Now, a year later, H lives about 5 miles away. There's a train station near both of us, and it's about a 15 to 20 minute walk on my end. He works part-time, but despite that, he only sees the baby anywhere from once a week to once a month. His main reason is that he can't handle the commute. When he does come over, he'll stay 1 to 3 nights. He is kind to the baby, patient, and generally helpful around the house, but he gets tired quickly, becomes irritable, and then leaves, even if he doesn't have work. That used to really upset me, but over time I've just gotten used to it. Financially, he contributes nothing. I currently can't work because I have no childcare, so I'm relying on savings, benefits, and help from friends and family. H says he doesn't have much money, but he still smokes and spends money on a game he plays. I get that people are allowed their own spending, but it's hard not to notice that he has some disposable income, yet none of it goes towards his child. When I registered the birth name, H wasn't there, so I registered the baby with just me, my chosen first name and my surname. Since then, H has repeatedly asked me to be added to the birth certificate and wants the baby to have his surname and his choice of the middle name, which I don't like. I've said no. The audacity H has. The audacity. He wasn't even there because he was uncomfortable. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, part of it is practical. I don't see us being together long term and I may want to move abroad again. I don't want someone who is only minimally involved to have legal control over decisions like that. Part of it is emotional. I feel like I've done the vast majority of the work: pregnancy, birth, sleepless nights, financial responsibility, and it doesn't sit right with me that he can just step in and put his name on everything now. There are also smaller things, like not loving how his surname sounds in English, but that's not the main issue. He says I'm being unfair and that he has a right to be reconsidered as a father. I'm torn because biologically he is the dad, but in reality his involvement has been inconsistent at best. Yes, biologically, like genetically, he is the father of the child, but you know, I feel like you only get to be called that if you put in the work and you actually act like one, like you're there. You are spending, you know, you're not becoming irritable. You are not making excuses to not see your kid. I feel like he does not deserve to be put on the birth certificate. And yeah, because he puts no effort in. I like the sentence when she said, it doesn't sit right with me that he can just step in and put his name on everything now. Yeah, like he was like, I don't want to do this, and then comes back at a time that's convenient for him, not for anybody else, and he's like, I want this done, I want this done. Like, bro, you were not here. Ridiculous. On the other hand, he has tried to show commitment on paper. He casually said one day in the bathroom that we should get married now and was upset when I turned him down. I don't think I want to marry anyone, and I definitely don't think we should be doing it because we had a baby together. And recently, he's got behind on rent, so he's trying to move in with me. I have said absolutely no because he cannot handle staying here for a few days, let alone a more permanent situation. I think without a solid foundation, living together would just be strained. I feel like he says the right things, but doesn't step up to support us in any real or substantial way. Am I the asshole? No, you are not the asshole. One person said, stop letting him stay with you. He keeps showing up like a guest, not a parent or partner. Yeah. Another person says, no, this man does not want your child. He's probably only using it for money and still getting with someone else. Keep your kid away from this guy, please, for your kid's sake and yours, not the asshole. Yeah, I completely agree. He's not present most of the time. So why should he have any say over any of your decisions or, you know, the baby's name? Or like big events like moving in, getting married. Like it doesn't seem like he actually wants to do these things. He's just doing it because it only affects him. You know, he wants to move in because he doesn't have enough money, because he's smoking and playing a game, and he wants to get married for who knows why. Probably to just say he's married because they have a kid together. Next, was I being petty to write up the mean girls in my department for food shaming? Most likely not. Okay, I realize the title may sound insanely petty, but it's not just about me. I, 43 female, am the head of my department at a large financial institution. There are two women, mid-20s, who are constantly picking apart whatever people are choosing to eat throughout the day. I don't think I've ever met anybody like that. But it gives me the ick. It makes me like, I don't know. I'm trying not to use Gen Z words, but it makes me feel gross when people do that, you know? These women are not the skinny girls food shaming chubby. Okay. These women are not the skinny girls, food shaming chubby people, but chubby people shaming the healthier choices people make. Honestly, it doesn't matter how it comes out. Skinny people, chubby people, it's simply harassment in my eyes. To me, it's even more wild because they're shaming people for eating salads, protein bowls, shakes, sugar-free drinks, etc. Are you a rabbit? All those vegetables, ew. You know you can eat a cheeseburger. You won't inflate overnight. Men like curves, you need to eat real food. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. At this point, it kind of just sounds like they're trying to make themselves feel better. That's kind of what I'm getting from this so far, but let's keep reading. At first it came across as cute/funny, but as time goes on, it's become unbearable. Mind you, I've spoken to these two women a few times, but now in the last few months, they have progressively gotten more aggressive in their comments. Today was the last straw for me, though. A new woman who's been about here 3 weeks had her husband stop by lunch for the two of them. She's an average size Punjabi woman? How do you say that? Please hold.
Punjabi.
Okay, I think I said it right. Punjabi. And her husband is a chubby Punjabi guy. They had apparently made the choice to eat healthier together and walk after lunches. She had asked if it was okay to have him come at lunchtimes. I granted her permission last week. Lovely. Of course, these women loudly went on and on about how much happier the man would be with one of them because they knew how to feed his figure better than the wife. They would not try to limit his food and control his life. Comments about how miserable he must be eating only the cultural food his wife forces him to eat, and how the poor man has to suffer with only rabbit food to sustain him, and criticize walks to lose weight instead of having intercourse to burn calories. Needless to say, I called them into my office, verbally reprimanded them, and then wrote them up and sent it off to HR. Wait, girl, you're the head of the department. You can do whatever you want. I feel like, yeah, that was the last straw. Like, commenting about other people's lifestyles, I imagine, and maybe this is wrong, but I imagine, you know, the wife was not forcing him, you know. It's kind of like a two-sided thing. Maybe he wanted to become healthier. Maybe, you know, maybe it was his decision, but that's ridiculous. That should, yeah, be a write-up. I was gonna say a fireable offense, but I think a verbally reprimanding them and then writing them up is like a good, hey, watch it or you're going to be fired. Like kind of like I don't know what word I'm using. I'm trying to look for. Anyways, HR called me and asked if I was sure I wanted to go down this road. I said, absolutely. Is there something I am missing? She said that it might come across as petty and catastrophizing. Wow. Because someone like me is accusing someone like them of food shaming, bullying, and unprofessionalism. What? So because they are heavy and I am thin, I should give them a pass? To be fair, when I wrote the complaint, I did report the history of food shaming and previous warnings I had issued. But this particular situation gone far beyond food shaming and turned into something far worse. I would even say as far as sexual harassment almost. Am I being tone deaf? Did I miss something, or am I out of line or being over the top? I really don't think so. I don't think you are. These two people are, most of the time when people hate, they are jealous, projecting, and trying to make themselves feel better. And that's kind of what I'm getting here, you know? They may be insecure and they are taking it out on other people, and that can create a very tense work environment, which is not great if you want to keep people at this place of work. I do not think you are stepping out of line. This is ridiculous. Somebody said they brought race/ethnicity into it, making comments about her cultural food. I would not back down. The wronged employee might make this a race thing, and she wouldn't be incorrect. Yes, I made it a point to speak to her when she returned from her walk this afternoon. She is afraid to file a complaint since she is new, but I promised her I'd have her back if she chose to. This isn't the toxic environment I want my staff to work in. Yeah, I don't know why people are hating on other cultures' food. I think food, like, besides American food, is way better. This next post got deleted and it was so good. It was called Went on a Break, Still With Him, Now This. I gotta find another one. Please hold. 9 minutes ago. Okay, here we go. My 22 female, and my fiance, 25 male, are moving, and my parents' reaction devastated me. My fiance and I have been engaged for nearly 6 months and are less than a year from the wedding, so we decided to find an apartment together. Yay! When we told my parents that we were planning on moving to save money and learn how to live together, they freaked out. Lots of guilt tripping and emotional manipulation. They said things like, you'll end up getting divorced, living in sin, just a lot of very, very hurtful things. I'm very close with my family, so this was hard to hear. I share almost everything with them, especially big life changes. They love my fiance too, so I just don't understand why they are so upset about this. This was a few months ago, and I think they assumed they talked me out of moving, but we have a lease signed and move in less than a month. I haven't told them any of this, and it makes me ill that I can't share this exciting time of my life with them. My fiance and I are financially well off and don't need money from them for the wedding or anything. We live several hours away from them as well. I don't want to cut ties with them. I'm just really not sure how to get past this feeling of guilt they have instilled in me and betrayal. But I want to live my life on my terms. Does anyone have any advice? There's only one comment that said if they really use living in sin, then you had to at least imagine this may be their response. The only thing is like, did you already move out or were you living with them? And this is kind of like a, hey, I don't know, because the kind of thing that I'm getting here is maybe they are afraid of you moving out. you know? Maybe they're like, oh, she's growing up so fast, we don't want this to happen. But I don't think this is the way you go about it. I think you use your words instead of kind of like using the hurtful ones, you know? But that's just my take. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below some of your thoughts on these stories. I think most of them weren't the asshole, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, while you're down there, click all the buttons. You know what to do. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world viewing this. And peace.